Good morning. Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. Today is Thursday, February 23rd, and I'm Cara Falco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. We're so glad you could join us today. The National Weather Service, by the way, did you hear about this one?
Oh, yeah.
Confirmed a tornado touchdown in Mercer County Tuesday as strong thunderstorms moved through the area. This was wild. The tornado.
This was near you.
It was right next to our town.
Oof,
yeah,
look
the
at
tornado.
that.
Check out this damage here. It hit around 3:45 Tuesday afternoon, damaging several buildings and uprooting trees. This is just some of the damage here in Lawrence Township. No one luckily injured, but 60 people have been displaced from their homes. A tornado warning was issued for the area shortly before this tornado hit. It was an EF2 tornado with winds over 110 miles per hour. There was an apartment building that just ripped the entire roof off.
Wow.
The entire, just obliterated them. That tornado.
Incredible.
Part of another wave of strong storms. Check out this footage of a hailstorm. This was in Monmouth County from there. Our weather producer, that's from John Rocco, he took that as the storms rolled through the state on Tuesday. Just wild, just unbelievable.
It really was crazy. I mean, and we didn't get anything like that, but I just remember, I mean, I was actually walking the dog and I was like, it's hailing. It's not,
like, what is
happening?
I was at home working quietly and all of a sudden that, the alarm goes off on your phone and then, it jolts you awake.
Yeah,
and I looked
absolutely.
outside, the sky was, green.
Yeah.
I saw and heard the thunder and the lightning and it was like, there's something
You're
something
like,
cooking.
this is not good. Actually, who knows all about it? Meteorologist Mike Favetta. Let's bring him in. And I mean, we've had tornadoes in New Jersey before.
Right.
Sure.
We've discussed them. We've even had them in the lifespan of this show. But an EF2, what does that mean in layman's
Right.
terms? What are we looking
Sure.
at? And how common is that?
In February.
And in
too.
February.
It
Yeah.
is rare. It is very rare in February, but I've got the stats to show you. So yes, EF2 tornadoes, while strong, they are impressive for any time of the year in New Jersey. And while New Jersey typically has 1 to 2 tornadoes per year, very unusual to have them during the month of February. And there have been years where during the month of February, New Jersey has had a tornado or two. But an EF2, again, strong, and for a tornado to be on the ground for almost 6 miles is quite unusual, especially given the width of 200 yards, 2 football fields wide worth of damage. That's impressively big. As this tornado touched down over in Lawrence Township in West Windsor, it was around 3:30 in the afternoon. So what the meteorologists were looking for at the Mount Holly office for the Weather Service, they found some rotation in the clouds, and they also picked up some debris on the radar because the radar has been advanced in its algorithms to pick up things other than rain in the sky, other than snow in the sky, and it can actually pick up debris and note that on the radar map, and that's what the meteorologists were seeing. So pretty clear definition of a 110 mile per hour tornado as it worked its way through on Tuesday afternoon. Now, regarding some of the other stats here for New Jersey, back in 1973, consequently in February, there was an F1 tornado in Hunterdon County. So something about that, south central New Jersey region, even, Hunterdon County on the border of northern New Jersey, but you see down toward Camden. In 1999, and during the month of February, on February 12th, the 1999 an F1 tornado. The difference between F1 and EF1 just means that the scale was updated. It still means the same wind speeds, just how the Weather Service classifies them. So, F1 tornado, low end, F2, obviously a little stronger. And that's what hit Mercer County on Tuesday. So some very strong winds there that rushed through. Are they frequent? Obviously not during the month of February, but they're not impossible. And so that's what happened with this clash of very warm and humid air masses, as now it's much colder, and we had sleet yesterday. So hail on Tuesday, sleet yesterday, and yeah, there's actually a little bit of snow in the forecast here for New Jersey this upcoming weekend. We will get to all those details coming up and talk more about the forecast of what you can expect here in New Jersey as our kind of wacky week of weather continues for the month of February here across the state.
Just when you think you've seen it all in the weather department.
Yeah.
I actually almost called you yesterday, and I was going to be like, what is happening? I can't, what do I wear? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
It's amazing because it's the bane of a meteorologist's existence to hear people call it hail when it's sleeting in the wintertime.
Oh, sorry.
Ice pellets, because they're two completely different things. Yet yesterday, it was not hail, but 2 days ago it was hailing. So
Right.
it's just
So you understand my confusion.
Right. He's like, oh, hail no, it's sleet.
right.
Thank you, my friend. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit.
It's hard to keep up, it really is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we're going to switch gears now and to a tragic story here in New Jersey that grabbed headlines this past week. An entire family in Linden dead after the father allegedly killed his wife and 2 children before turning the gun on himself. It's just tragic. Linden's mayor shared this update on Twitter that the second teen had died. Police say the shooting took place inside the family's home. The victims were discovered by authorities Sunday morning. Governor Murphy posted a statement saying, quote, "Linden is a strong community and will support them however possible as they mourn and recover." This was a heartbreaking situation for the community as well. It's a very tight-knit community. So when neighbors and community members heard about it, you know, there was an outpouring of support. Still, there's a, you know, a memorial growing. The site is growing with flowers and candles for these, you know, the kids. They were teenagers, and, you know, the mom, and just a horrible story.
Just the whole thing. And again, and you know, it's one of those things, and we talk a lot about it on this show, mental health in general, a lot for our kids, a lot for ourselves as women, and I feel like the men get a little bit left out, and sometimes they're the ones who need it the most. I was just reading something, there was a study that said, you know, while women, at least, we have our girlfriends, if nothing, if we don't feel we can talk to our partner, you know, if we have a living mother, which you and I both do, so, you know, we have people to communicate with. Men really don't, they don't talk to their friends the way women do, and so they're just always bottled up, and nobody catches it.
It's also, you know, an upbringing thing, too. Like, some families don't, you know, acknowledge speaking your mind and talking about feelings and things like that. So, you know, it is a generational thing too, I feel. And, you know, this situation, we don't know exactly what led up to it, but just all around heartbreaking, especially for those children.
For the kids,
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely insane. Another story that's going on in New Jersey. A New Jersey man was among the 3 mountain climbers that were killed in an avalanche in Washington state. The avalanche occurred yesterday along the slope of Kolchak Peak, sweeping the climbers 500 feet down the mountain. 66-year-old Yoon Park was from Palisades Park. So just another, it's been had some wild stories this week.
There were 6 of them, and from what I read, he stayed back at the campsite while the others went on the hike. And so he was one of 3 that perished in that avalanche. But just a crazy story, and, you know, our hearts go out to his family and, you know, the community there as well. Well, New Jersey lawmakers are leading the push to send more relief money to Turkey in the wake of the devastating earthquake that recently struck the region. And Congressman Bill Pascrell and Senator Cory Booker were among those leading the push, speaking about the need to overcome obstacles like the ongoing Syrian civil war to get more aid to the region.
As relief efforts continue in the wake of the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria, many New Jersey organizations are playing a key role.
Now, one of them is the Turkish Cultural Center of New Jersey, who have teamed up with the Embrace Relief Foundation to help coordinate those efforts. And joining us now is the Turkish Cultural Center's Outreach Director, Vaysel Ukan, and Embrace Relief CEO, Osman Dolgelaru. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. So what have you guys been able to achieve in relief efforts since the earthquake took place?
As Embrace Relief, I'd like to thank to Turkish Cultural Center and many other organizations that work with us to raise funding. And in the first week of the earthquake, we decided to provide only the items that they most need at that time is cooked meal, ready-to-eat meal. So we have sent 6 trucks of ready-to-eat meal to the disaster victims in the first week. And after first week, we concentrated more to rent assistance, finding homes, and furnishing the homes for the earthquake victims. We are helping both the Turkish side and also Syrian side in these occasions.
How are you able to get these things to people that need them? What is that process like?
Actually, we are working directly. I am a Turkish person also, so we are working directly with the companies in the field. For the right now we are providing the food packages and also tents, because that's what they mostly asking right now.
Right.
As you know, the past Monday they had two more earthquakes, and when they had these two earthquakes, also the people who has home, they are not able to stay in their home as well, because they, even if there is like some wear and tear in the home, they are afraid to stay because many homes already collapsed. So they start to ask tents, and they cannot leave their home and go to there are some campsites, maybe people can go, even they are not enough. So we are providing right now tent. So we agree with a company that's producing the tent. So every day they are producing tents and delivering to the region. Food items, same. We are working directly with the companies that's like wholesalers. They are making the packing, and we have people on the field. They are collecting and distributing to the people.
Wow. Wow. And so what has the response been from the Turkish community here in New Jersey?
Yeah, not only the... Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, please.
The earthquake hit 10 cities in Turkey, and millions of people were living in that cities. And there are Turkish American New Jerseyans who lost their family members and friends in Turkey. We, as an organization, we organize interfaith vigils and prayer sessions for those to honor those lost in the earthquake. And we also received many support and condolences from different ethnic groups and religious groups. We really appreciate that. We realize that this type of tragedies brings people together, and we receive support from schools, from townships, from senior centers as well.
It truly is remarkable to see the manpower still at the rubble. You see the images on television, people just doing everything they can to dig, to find lost loved ones and hope for survival. What do you hope as that continues to achieve in the days to come, even months to come?
This is a humanitarian crisis, and it is gonna last long to recover. And again, we support we appreciate the support and friendship that we received from the international communities. And many people, they already left the region because a lot of houses are damaged. They cannot live there. And a lot of people are living in the tents. And it's going to take at least a few months for the recovery.
We're watching some of the video and the photos of some of the relief efforts being coordinated here, and it's just amazing to see so many people come together.
Yeah, absolutely. How can more people help out if they're watching this and they want to make a donation, volunteer? What can they do?
Currently, and for me, it looks like the easiest way to help the people is like purchasing the items from local and right away delivered to the people. The in-kind, they have donated a lot of in-kind donations as well to Turkish consulate to transport all the items to the Turkey, but they are all overwhelmed in 1 week. I mean, there are they have received a lot of donations. Of course, they need many people to separate these donations and deliver it to the region. But in first, I can say a couple of weeks, it's easier to send the items that they ask. Like in Syria, people are asking women hygiene product, diapers, the children winter clothes, children shoes, and food. They are asking these more. So instead of sending like mixed items to them, we are preferring to package all these things and deliver to the region. So it's, I believe, helping more to the people. Right now, they are asking tents. If we collect tents here, send it to Turkey, it will take maybe a month to get the region, to get the disaster victims. But I'm ordering just in one day. In couple days, they are delivering and setting up the tents. It's like more quick way to do for now. But this is a long process for future. We are also considering to collect some more items and send it to Turkey. Maybe they need, like in the future, definitely they will need home, right? Hundreds of thousands of people lost their homes. They don't have home. Many homes collapsed. So we are working to right now arrange homes to them, but people doesn't want to leave the area because still they have family members, they have friends under the rubbles. So they would like to get them first. It's like very sad. I mean, they cannot leave the area. They are waiting. Just even they don't have tent, they are staying in their car and waiting.
It's just heartbreaking, and it's, you know, such a tragedy, and we're so glad that you came on this morning to talk to us about all of the relief efforts, and, you know, we wish you all the best and hope more people help out as well. So thank you both for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The images coming out of that have just been heartbreaking. Yeah. And you just, you know, you hear stories like that, and it's, you know, it's good to know that we have a place to go to help if it moves you so. And to mobilize and, you know, gather together and even just, you know, say prayers. I mean, we saw in some of the video the community coming together here. You know, and then gathering food. It's hard when your family and friends are halfway around the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, coming up, why some state lawmakers are calling on the state to halt the offshore wind farms. Plus, what's making some New Jersey towns film ready? And don't forget, you can always find us over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Thwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America Show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America Show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's head back to meteorologist Mike Favetta for another look at the forecast. It's been pretty mild, but it's going to change for the weekend.
There is some colder weather on the way. Would you believe? Here we go, getting winter. Waited long enough, right?
Yeah.
Going into the end of the winter season. I think we'll get a little bout of cold air this weekend, and it may be enough cold air to support some snow. Along with that mixed precip. So maybe a little rain, snow, mixed precip mixed in. It gets a little... unlikely for now. But you know, given how we've had these warm, humid air masses come in behind these really cold ones, the potential for severe weather is there when we're right in the middle. And some parts of New Jersey today will be in the middle, although I don't think there's severe weather in today's forecast. It does get cold into the weekend, and I think it warms up again by later next week. We're still running well above average. So we start off this morning chilly in the 30s, average the upper 30s to around 40, but highs today only climb into the mid-40s. You can see even across the state with temperatures ranging pretty vastly from 66 in Camden That is a warm day for February. Going up to 45 in Sussex, there's a big difference, by almost 20 degrees in places that are not even 100 miles apart. So with the clouds that roll in this afternoon for the northern part of the state, it's already cloudy there now. There should be some breaks of sun later on today. That's some good news. Then we head into the weekend where it gets much colder. I always point out the bottom numbers on the 3-day forecast in blue. By tomorrow, we should be in the 20s later tomorrow night in some places across the state after coming in with highs in the mid 40s. Then Saturday, with the gusty winds, will be very chilly. Temperatures stay in the 20s, feel like the teens, and then we're back in the 30s, only around the freezing mark throughout the afternoon. But I think there's a good chance of some snow and rain mix there throughout the latter part of the day, all clearing by Sunday, 47 degrees as the afternoon high. So some pretty impressive swings still in the forecast by a good, 10 to 15 degrees in the next few days. And finally, a little taste of winter weather across the state. We'll talk more about that Saturday snow chance and take a look at the 7-day forecast with your weather headlines. That's all coming up with your next weather update in a few minutes. Cara and Kristina.
Yeah, winter was like, what's up? I'm still here. Just kidding. Remember me?
Oh, man.
Right.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Well, the DreamWorks water park at the American Dream Mall still closed as state officials have declared the building unsafe. The park was closed on Sunday afternoon after a decorative helicopter just fell from the ceiling. 4 people were injured at that water park.
The state has a bad history with water parks.
Yeah. American Dream Mall has been having some very bad luck lately. And, I think they're being sued as well by contractors for some of the work that they never got paid for. So it's just been that whole mall, the history of it all.
It's got to be built on like Indian graveyard or something, like Native American land that was not supposed to be anything. It's cursed. It's got to be.
I mean, it was Xanadu, now it was American Dream, and
there was like 6 things in between that.
Yeah. So, I'm glad everybody is doing well, and there weren't serious injuries from it. But I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, it's. I mean, and the place is like a third of it is still empty too.
Yeah, they can't rent out some. They can't lease
a lot
out
of the
some
stores.
Of
It's wild. The whole place is wild.
So, but yeah.
But I just have like visions going back to Action Park, like back when we were
right.
Just the water park,
which they've redone now. But
yes, the new one is much nicer.
But they even just had a fire at one of their attractions a couple years ago, which is still closed.
Again, water parks are a little rough around here.
And a little bad luck. Yeah.
Speaking of water, New Jersey state Republicans are calling for a 30-day moratorium on the ocean wind farms. They say the farms may be causing the recent whale deaths that we've seen along the Jersey Shore. Senate Minority Leader Steve Rojo says a moratorium is, quote, a small price to pay to make sure the wind farms aren't harming the whales.
And since then, they've had an independent marine mammal group study whether or not this is having an effect on the whale deaths, and they came back and said no.
Wow.
It is not.
Okay.
So, and they're an independent group.
Right.
But I think more, obviously investigation has to be done. But Governor Murphy's doubling down and saying, listen, this group's saying it's not. So we're not going to stop the wind farms. But, a 30-day moratorium doesn't seem like a lot. But
yeah. At least just to, I don't know, double, triple check.
Yeah, just to cross, the T's and dot the I's kind of thing, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of Governor Murphy, he's announced an additional $120 million of state funding to expand preschool facilities in 16 school districts across New Jersey. This is huge. The governor announced the funding yesterday at Brooks Crossing School in South Brunswick.
Year after year, we are relentlessly pursuing our goal of achieving universal access to quality pre-K programming for every 3- and 4-year-old in our state, and the numbers reflect that determination.
Is to add over 1,000 new seats for preschool students. In the words of Lizzo, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you from a parent's perspective, New York City, when we moved out of New York City, it had just turned free universal pre-K. And my husband and I looked at each other, we're like, really? After all that money we spent for daycare
there and daycare,
and figuring out school and all that stuff. Now the second one here in New Jersey, having to pay for preschool, and in our district, kindergarten is only half day, 2 hours, so not even a full half day.
Wow.
As a parent, you're struggling to find out, okay, am I going to keep paying for daycare? Am I going to do this whole half day rigmarole kind of thing?
Right.
It is so,
juggle it.
And it's for something for educational purposes, right?
Right.
It's for something that is a necessity.
Well, and I remember you telling me about this, and I did not realize. And again, I think because I went K through 12 in private schooling, and I really never thought about it because we were always paying for school.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that kindergarten at least was part of the public schooling system.
Right.
I did not realize
Not
that
in all
was
districts.
considered like a separate
Right.
daycare issue. And now I know I have friends who are literally waiting to have their second child to time it out in such a way that they don't have to pay 2 daycare tuitions.
Yes, I mean, and you should not in this day and age have to do
Right,
that.
that should not be like one of the things that factor into how you build your family.
Not in New Jersey, where we are known for our education. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so,
it's wild.
finally, it's 1,000 seats, but it's something.
It's something.
And so hopefully, eventually, it'll lead to
It'll-
that universal.
yes, well-
Once my kids are probably in high school.
I was going to say, yeah.
Or college.
Or college. Hey, maybe they'll be the ones who get elected to finally put it in place.
Right. Unbelievable.
So, speaking of education, the State Senate's Education Committee is going to consider a bill allowing students to get excused mental health days from school. Now, if passed, the legislation would not count those absences as part of any, quote, chronic absence. The bill resembles others passed in 12 different states. The Advocates for Children of New Jersey say over 10% of children have struggled with mental health since the pandemic began.
Huge.
It's so funny. Now, I remember a friend in high school, her mom was always an advocate of this whole mental health day thing. And if she went to her mom and said, Mom, I'm physically fine, but I just feel off. I'm overwhelmed. Her mom would call her out of school. And I remember being flabbergasted because I was definitely raised. I was like, can you walk? You're going to school.
Right.
Like there was,
We walked uphill in 6 feet of snow.
Both ways barefoot. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I was just remember being so shocked that, again, I'm not going to say how many years ago this was, but it was quite a few. And just remember being amazed that I was like, wow, you don't have to be physically sick to just take some time for yourself. And it's stuck with me my whole life, and it's really something, I've started to implement. So I think that's wonderful that they don't count it as necessarily.
It's separate, right? And you're seeing more and more corporations and
businesses do the same.
Sort of factor this in as well. And again, I think it goes back to the way you're raised and, home life. Do you talk about mental health? Do you talk about feelings and how overwhelmed you are? I mean, we're just sort of getting to a place, I feel like, where people are now finally coming out of that. And
it's okay.
Really acknowledging it. And I think that's amazing. And
it's huge.
Especially in schools now when you're seeing bullying and you're seeing, all of the pressures come.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. I think that's a fabulous idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is another one, too. State lawmakers are considering a bill that would require high school students to learn about grief management in high school health classes. The bill's co-sponsor, Republican State Senator John Bradnick, says it's a critical issue for students to learn about.
You can teach in health class a little bit how to help somebody who has that kind of grief, or you have grief, because it's not taught at all, but people suffer a lot. And I'm hopeful that this will pass, and every health class, I'm not talking about every day, I'm talking about a very small portion of health class, maybe a day or two, on how to deal with grief, how to help others who have suffered a loss.
And the bill has been referred to the Senate's Education Committee and most likely will pass as well. So again, doing more for mental health, and it's an entire package.
It really is. And it's so good to see, because just even for me in my own life as an adult, like I remember, kind of being like, why am I just now like in my 30s learning how to identify all my emotions, communicate them effectively to somebody else. I'm like, why is this not taught in schools? And it's so good to see that we're now kind of opening these things up to people. How to be empathetic and compassionate and caring both towards yourself and towards others. And have those hard conversations.
It's so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's critical. So something a little more fun. With New Jersey's film industry looking to attract more movies to the Garden State, the Film Ready program looks to help guide towns on what to do when a film company arrives. The 5-step program educates leaders on economic benefits, finding a film ready liaison, creating a permit process, and submitting town photos as to a list of local resources. So far, 4 towns have been certified as, quote, film ready: Franklin, Watchung, Hillsborough, and South Boundbrook. And I just, first of all, that's great. I'm glad that they're really kind of stepping that up and setting these steps forward for communities to kind of put themselves out there and
get the benefits from it. And I think it's really, it's fun. And New Jersey is putting this whole push behind the film industry and the TV industry. I think it's great, and it's better for New Jersey economically to have that. So I mean, it is a 5-step process, and people see that and we're like, probably, oh, it's daunting, but it doesn't seem like that hard of a process to get it done.
It didn't seem like too much. I mean, and New Jersey is such a great place for stuff like that. If you've traveled kind of west of the Mississippi, because that part of the country was built up so much later, we just have all of these great traditional, unique looking towns and areas and homes and buildings that you don't kind of get as you go a little further west, because everything's a little more cookie cutter. It was done, sort of after that Industrial Revolution, and it's just, you don't get that feeling, that vibe that you get on the East Coast.
You can be in so many different places too in New Jersey, which is so awesome. You could be by a shore town or even be in the mountains in about a couple of hours. So, I mean, it's perfect for, again, the film and TV industry where you're looking for something specific. Most likely New Jersey will have it.
We'll have it, yes, absolutely.
So. Well, coming up, why some high school students in Bergen County will get to sleep in. Lucky.
Good stuff. Plus a new bill that'll make Central Jersey official. We'll show you where the state plans to draw the line.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, too. Plus, you could always find us over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Thwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America Show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America Show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has another check of the forecast for us, and we are riding the roller coaster, Mike.
We are, yeah. Even today, if you were to travel from Sussex County down only as far south as, say, Trenton, Camden area, you would actually see a 20-degree difference in temperature.
Wow.
Yeah, really impressive. And you can already see it showing up on the satellite picture. I'll show you that where most of northern and north central New Jersey has cloud cover, the sun is starting to break out in southern New Jersey. So here's the North Jersey cloud cover. You can see right there. But in South Jersey, there's a little bit of cloud cover starting to break up, allowing for that sun to warm things up. the drawing's not working. But anyway, I think we're going to see overall a very sunnier pattern through the southern half of the state later today. Then when we head into the end of the weekend, there's a little bit of snow in our forecast, probably as soon as Saturday. I'd say it's just flurries, and this is Saturday morning. You see that white showing the snow spread across most of northern New Jersey, but it really clears out by the early afternoon. So I'd be surprised if it leaves even a coating, maybe just a little bit on the car tops going into the end of the day. It's really going to be a fast-moving system that doesn't put much down, but might make it look pretty briefly throughout the day on Saturday. So the weather headlines for today, we have that very interesting scenario setting up across the state where it will be near freezing across most of northern New Jersey, except including up in the Catskills. And then as you head further south of, say, 195, could be approaching 70 by this afternoon. It will turn quite windy for tomorrow going into the weekend, and that dip in temperatures sets up the stage for a little bit of that light snow on Saturday. More of a nuisance. I don't think it sticks to any of the main roads, so that's some good news there. Now, in terms of the forecast for most of next week, we are still forecasting above average temperatures for most of us here in the Garden State. Even if you coming up on spring break plans and traveling to head down toward Florida, it is going to be exceptionally warm for you. And there's also going to be some mild weather here. You can see on the 7-day forecast. The weekend looks very, I'd say, colder with that snow potential throughout the day on Saturday. Again, I don't think it accumulates to anything except a little icy, crusty coating on the car tops and grassy surfaces at best, especially in the northern part of the state. Sunday will climb to a high of 47, and then by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday, there's a little bit of a chance for some rain-snow mix, but it's still too warm for it to be an all-snow event. Might see a little bit of mixing occur throughout the day, especially by Tuesday, and then Wednesday clears out again with a high of 48 degrees. So still running above average even through the middle of next week. Unusually mild, even though we get these chances of snow, it's unlikely we get any big-time accumulations, just not the pattern that we seem to be in this winter. Cara and Kristina.
Here we go.
And it's just, yeah. It's definitely going to, I'm still holding on to that, like, March snowstorm, like,
the one chance at skiing.
Wallop. Yeah, exactly.
But even the March snow events, you know how they put down an inch or two and then it's gone the next day.
It's gone.
That might be the only thing we see this winter.
Wow. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
All right, so a new report from Wallet Hub has uncovered something most of us already know, especially if you own a home here in New Jersey. Garden State has the highest real estate property taxes in the nation. The tax bill for a home valued at New Jersey's median value is $6,057. If your home is valued at the national median value, the tax bill is even higher at $8,797. I'll be honest with you, I wish that was my tax bill.
I was just going to say the same thing. I wish. And you know, my sister-in-law lives in South Carolina, and she was complaining about her property taxes. I said, I don't even want to hear it.
I was like, don't talk to us.
It's $900 a year. And I was like, we're not on speaking terms anymore.
What?
Like, we're not on speaking terms. Come back at me in a few years when you move back up to New Jersey. And
I just, you know, and we talked a lot about the education system in the last block, and it is excellent. And at the same time, it's like, it can't possibly take all of that to do that well.
Yeah.
Like something, I'm like, there's still something between, I don't mind paying for it, but it's not translating all the way out.
All the way around, right. And it's like, and it just keeps increasing and increasing, and you're just like, why?
What is happening? What is happening? And why do I still, you know, like.
But we didn't really need a study to know from
that we knew.
Is happening.
We knew.
We always know. Well, this is another fun one, and it's been a long time controversy here in New Jersey, probably even more controversial than Taylor ham versus
pork roll.
Yeah. A new bill in the state legislature could settle a long-standing debate here in central Jersey. Does it exist?
No.
Yes. I live in Middlesex County.
No.
Middle
no.
of New Jersey.
No.
Central.
The Mason-Dixon line ran through the state. You're north or south of it. That's it.
Agree to disagree. If passed, the measure would formally make Central Jersey one of the 3 tourism marketing and promotion regions of the state. Now, that region would include Somerset, Hunterdon, Middlesex, Union, Ocean, Monmouth, and Mercer counties. Ocean is kind of confusing to me if you look at the map.
It's because it's such a massive county, and it just because it does, you know.
It kind of leaks into I guess the middle
If
part.
I
of the
was going
state,
to divide the state into 3 parts, honestly, it would be North Jersey, and North Jersey is anything north of the Driscoll Bridge on the Parkway.
Right.
And I would just that skinny part of the state, like that's its waistline. Everything up is North Jersey, and then I would divide the southern part in half. You're either you're on the Jersey Shore, or you're South Jersey.
Right. No, that makes sense too.
But there is no Central Jersey. I'm very sorry, my friend.
Stop it. Middlesex.
Let us know. You know what? We're gonna have Bridget put up a poll on Instagram. Let us know. Does South Jersey, Central Jersey exist or not? Let us know.
But really, it's about the tourism dollars and
right. And how do you isolate those communities and what they had? That part I do understand.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't.
But
exist.
interesting that it took legislation to determine long hours.
I just want to know how we're gonna market this.
It's just that is so Jersey.
I love it. I love it. So Ridgewood High School has decided to push back the time they begin classes to help students get some more sleep. So starting this fall, classes will begin at 8:20 a.m., 35 minutes later than the current start time of 7:45. In addition, the length of class periods will be slightly shortened, cutting the length of a school day by about 20 minutes altogether.
Yeah.
I like the later start. I don't know that I like the shorter school day, all told.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've joked about this before, and I mean, I kind of mean it kiddingly, but again, you know, we do pay the highest property taxes because we have, you know, the majority of that is spent on our public schooling system. And I know in my town, these kids already, they don't go until after 8 a.m.
Oh, really?
And there are teenagers roaming the streets by 2. And I'm like, what are you doing? They don't actually go to school. What do they do? They're out all day.
I mean, you know, there have been so many studies done, obviously, sleep studies about the benefits of sleeping more, and especially in young kids and students.
Teens.
And so I get it. I mean, I remember back in the day when when our high school started, I think the first bell was at 7:05.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we went all the way till like 3:05.
Till 3, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, by, you know, third or fourth period, I was like half asleep. I was crashing because it was like, you're up and then you're just like, oh my gosh, you know? So, I mean, I get it. I feel like it's a good thing, but on the back end, there has to be some allocation of where that time is going, right? Obviously, it's going towards more sleep and better health, but educational purposes, where is it going?
Right,
You know?
exactly. It's like they still need, you know, the class time. They need the, you know, the face-to-face time.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, these days now, I think about the parents too.
Right.
You know, what? And again, we're in this post-pandemic life. Yeah, like, so maybe you're working from home or it's hybrid or you have that flexibility now. But if you still have to be at a location at 9 a.m. and your kid doesn't go to school until 8:20,
what do you do?
You better hope you work nearby.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, we commute. What do we commute on average in the state? 2 hours?
I mean,
over an hour for sure.
On the Parkway, but I mean, so it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if other school districts sort of follow suit and, you know, change
and what
that
the balance is.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a healthy balance.
Right.
Sure.
Like I said, I like the later start, but just balance.
But no roaming students.
No roaming students at 2 p.m.
That sounds like a horror movie.
They did. Nothing makes me more nervous than a group of teenagers. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Well, this next story is amazing. Pharmaceutical company Eisai is gearing up for a potential FDA approval after its Alzheimer's drug recently passed phase 3 clinical trials. Just a huge breakthrough here. The new lecanemab drug has been shown to slow the progression of symptoms in those trials.
We looked at measures of their thinking and also measures of their daily activities. For instance, their ability to participate in community affairs or do work at home, participate in hobbies. And in each of these measures, we showed a slowing of decline so that people were able to do these activities longer.
Eisai, which has its U.S. headquarters in LA, New Jersey, says the drug could become more widely available once it is fully approved. Some great news right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Massive.
Absolutely good stuff to see. So, our first guest today, Jersey Girl Travels, is a social media account that looks to promote the different things there are to do here in New Jersey. So joining us now to talk about them is the site's creator, Jen Adona. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
This site is so much fun.
Yes.
What inspired you to start this page?
So it was actually just back in November 2017, I realized I had so many photos from my travels and really nowhere to share them. So I decided it would be a good idea to start a page, and it started off as just travel photos from adventures I'd been on and evolved into this New Jersey page where I was sharing restaurants I'd gone to, hikes I've been on, and it really became just promoting things to do in the state and why I love New Jersey so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to see. Yeah.
What has it been like kind of seeing the account and the page grow over time? I mean, was that what you anticipated, or?
It certainly was not what I anticipated. Like I said, it started off just a place to, for lack of a better term, kind of like dump some photos and share them. And I didn't think that people would respond to it quite the way that they did. It has gone through many evolutions over the last few years. Went from mostly just travel photos to more focus on New Jersey. Once COVID happened, certainly supporting small businesses and focusing more on that microcosm became a big part of the page. And I think that really helped it grow even more, just people being able to see, we're stuck, for lack of a better term, kind of right where we are, but look how much there really is to do. These are some things that I can go explore once I feel comfortable going out and seeing those things again.
And you really touch upon everything. I mean, yesterday was National Margarita Day. You had a whole series about the best margaritas in New Jersey, which I fully appreciated. What are some of your favorite moments highlighted on Jersey Girl Travels?
Oh, that is a loaded question. There are so many. I love sharing just all the different foods we have in the state. We're such a culturally diverse place that you can get, Ethiopian food, Haitian food, obviously all of the best Italian food. So they're just sharing that and being able to let people know, here are some things that you might want to try if you want to get out of your comfort zone, and just things to do around the state. I think it's beautiful that we have everything from hiking to beaches, camping. You can start your day up in Mount Tammany going for a hike and then have lunch down in Asbury Park if you really wanted to, if you were ambitious enough to do that. So being able to encourage people to get out there and experience things in the state that maybe they otherwise wouldn't, and sharing the love and hoping that other people also have that love for the state. Everyone here is, Jersey pride is such a big thing.
Yes.
And I think that that's part of the reason the page has grown the way that it has, because people love this state for great reason. And this has been just one way that I'm sharing my love for it as well.
I love it. So, Jen, what inspired you just personally to start traveling around? I mean, like, when did you catch that bug? Mm-hmm.
I think I've always had that bug. I was the kid who would flip through a travel atlas book back in the day when we had those, and I would just look through and go, oh, I want to go here one day, or spin the globe, and wherever your finger landed, that's where you hoped that your next vacation might be. So I started solo travel in college. I would meet a friend somewhere, going to Colorado or going to California, and it's just evolved from there. So it started pretty young, and my grandmother loved to travel, and she always encouraged me to see as much of the world as I could. And I think I really took that to heart when she said that to me. And I feel like a little piece of her is always with me when I do take a trip. And it's just nice to know that I feel she would be proud of me for taking her word and going on these experiences and seeing as much as I can.
That's fantastic. We appreciate you doing all the legwork for us as well. Where can people go to see more of your travels?
So you can find me on Instagram at Jersey Girl Travels. I am also on TikTok now, even though I feel a little too old to be on TikTok.
Stop, no.
If you figure it out, let me know, because I still don't understand.
Maybe I'll put together a little guide. It's a user guide. But yes, I'm on TikTok, and over on TikTok, what I'm also doing is 52 countries in 52 weeks, where I am cooking a different dish from a different country every week. So that's been a fun little adventure as well.
I love it. Awesome.
So cool. Jen, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us this morning. And once again, it's at Jersey Girl Travels on Instagram. Check her out. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right.
So fun.
It's so much fun. I love that account. She's doing a great job with it. Guys, coming up, we've got one last look at your New Jersey forecast.
Yeah, and it's going to be surprising for you. Plus, I'll get you caught up on entertainment news with the latest Behr buzz.
And you can always find us over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Placket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America Show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America Show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has one last look at the weather for us, and just grab a pen and paper. You're going to need to take notes. There's a lot of things in this forecast.
Absolutely. There's some really interesting swings in the weather from the milder weather we had earlier this week. I mean, you go from sitting out on the patio in the sunny 71-degree weather on Monday to tornadoes and then sleet on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All in the span of 72 hours. So it was a really interesting start to the week. And yet there's some more fun in the forecast regarding a little touch of winter weather that happens as soon as Saturday. Throughout this afternoon, however, on this Thursday, we start off with a little break of sun in South Jersey and mostly cloudy skies up north. And there's a big difference in temperatures. Likely see most of northern New Jersey stay in the 40s, whereas southern New Jersey could approach the 70s by day's end. It cools down tomorrow with some gusty breezes, and yeah, there's some flakes and flurries in the forecast on Saturday. Doesn't look like any accumulation, but cold certainly to start off our weekend. Sunday climbs to a high of 47, so we're right back in the upper 40s and low 50s by Monday and Tuesday. Another chance of some rain and snow, maybe some sleet mixed in there by the beginning of next week, specifically on Monday night into Tuesday, and then Wednesday clears out. So lots of interesting weather to talk about, especially over the next few days, as even today, you know, the near 20-degree difference between the northern part of the state and points south is quite impressive on a February afternoon.
Too much. Too much to handle.
And Mike, what does things look like in Central Jersey?
Stop it.
Oh, because of the I know. A little, I heard the debate. Yeah.
I'm gonna go have a pork roll or Taylor ham. Either one.
Now you see, you're all gonna have to pick your own version of that now,
I know.
so you can fight with the rest of us.
It's true.
Thanks, Mikey.
You bet.
All right, time for some entertainment news. And the Bear Buzz actress Tina Fey will be starring in the new Mean Girls, the musical movie, reprising her role as Ms. Norbury right there. Yeah, the movie will be shooting, of course, in the Middletown area. Paramount Pictures still looking for New Jersey residents to appear in the movie. Head to Grant Wolfe Casting for information on how to sign up. Admittedly, I did so. Still waiting for my callback, people. By the way, he may not be a rock star like his famous dad, but check this out. He's set to play one on the big screen. This is Jake Bon Jovi, the 20-year-old son of John Bon Jovi, set to appear in the comedy Rock Bottom, playing a young replacement singer for an old 80s rock band who has stage fright. It is the perfect casting. The movie is listed in production. I cannot wait for this.
I've never seen him before. He's adorable.
Gorgeous. He's a model, too, so there you go.
Obviously.
Actor Liev Schreiber, joined by the Bayonne Bleeder, famed boxer Chuck Wepner, stopped by the Alchemy Room at Allied Beverage in Elizabeth. The two held a cocktail tasting of Sláinte Irish whiskey, which is co-owned by Schreiber and has just started distribution here in New Jersey. And by the way, $1 of every Smooth Blend bottle sale directly benefits Blue Check Ukraine, which Schreiber also co-founded, which helps provide life-saving aid to the front lines of the war. So a great thing happening here. They started this liquor line, and now some of the proceeds going back to Ukraine, which is amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And I know a couple of the guys over at Allied Beverage. They do a nice job. They have nice educational services if you're interested in
and so he
stuff
stopped
like
by
that.
in New Jersey, had a few drinks. It was really cool. in the
Very
community.
cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thanks, girl.
Yeah.
All right, let's check in with our own Chris Sakonis. He's got a look at what's been happening in sports this week.
It is a critical night for Rutgers men's basketball as the Scarlet Knights host Michigan in Piscataway tonight at 8:30. Scarlet Knights are coming off of a tough road win against Wisconsin last weekend. Another win tonight would go a long way towards keeping Rutgers off the tournament bubble. Over to the NHL, where the Devils return to the ice tonight to host the LA Kings at 7. New Jersey's coming off a tough 5-2 loss to the Canadiens on Tuesday night. They sit 5 points back of the Hurricanes for the division lead. Rangers also take the ice against the Red Wings tonight at 7. The Islanders are coming off a 2-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets. Sebastian Aho and Simon Holmstrom had the 2 goals for the Isles. For the New Jersey Morning Show, I'm Chris Sakonis.
Thanks so much, Chris. All right, guys, that about wraps things up for us here today on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. For more New Jersey news and talk, head over to OnNJ.com.